God has carried me. He surely has carried me through all of my ups and downs, through every hurdle, every hurt, every pain, every obstacle. Hello and welcome to my channel. So I have been gone for about 8 months and I just wanted to give you guys an update about what's going on in my life. 2024 was a year for me. Like, it was just a crazy year for me. Like, heartbreak, surprises, just loss. It has just been so much. Even 2025, but 2024, the end of 2024 was crazy. So let's get into it. So I didn't give you guys an actual update, but I did make a post about my grandmother. So from the end of last year to the beginning of this year, I experienced 3 deaths in my family, and it's other reasons, but I haven't been up here as well. But that has been something that's been significant. That has been a big thing. So the first person that I lost was my grandmother. And if you guys don't remember, for the people that have been following me here for a while, you know that me and my grandmother, we had gotten pretty close over the years. We already were close before I came back to New Jersey, but our relationship got even stronger when I came back to Jersey. Like, in the midst of me creating this channel, maybe a year or two after I created this channel or started posting more frequently on this channel, I moved to New Jersey with my grandmother. I moved to New Jersey and I stayed at my grandmother's house. My grandmother's house, my nana's house. And I told my story about how God led me to New Jersey, how God led me to ask my grandmother, can I stay with her? All of that. So if you haven't heard that story yet, make sure that you check it out. I'll leave the videos down below. And this was some years ago, yeah, so it might not be the best quality, but just check it out if you're interested to know more. But yeah, me and my grandmother, we always been pretty close. I was one of her first grandkids, right? And I'm trying not to get into how, like, everything, like, our relationship once I got back here to Jersey from Ohio. But our relationship it strengthened a lot. We went through hardships together. She seen me go through stuff, I saw her go through stuff, and yeah, we had great times as well. But maybe a year or so before she passed away in October, late September, early October of 2024. We had her funeral in October 2024, and maybe a year before that, we found out that she had cancer. Now, she had a cancer scare before, but the doctors told her that, okay, you don't have cancer. We thought it was cancer, but it's not cancer. So she was really happy about that. We were as well. We were as well, me and my family. So we all were happy about the news that she didn't have cancer. So we're under the assumption that she did not have cancer, that the doctors were wrong, and it was just a health scare. It was just a cancer scare. Now, she had diabetes. Prior to this, she had diabetes for years. I remember when she first told us, when we were children, I was just a kid when she told us that she had diabetes. Shortly after she was diagnosed and she revealed the news to us, she would educate us on diabetes, and even, get us more familiar with her medication that she would take, so that if anything would happen, we know what to give her, what to check up on her about. Like, oh, hey, Nana, how's your blood sugar? Is it up? Is it down? Is it good? Did you take your insulin? Things like that. So all of us were pretty familiar with her medication and her health. So while I was there, I was, when she had her health scares, going in and out of the hospital, I was there with her. Most of the time, I was there with her, by her side. I remember even spending one of my birthdays there at the hospital with her, because she had to stay in the hospital because of her diabetes, okay? And it could have been something else. She had other, she had diabetes and neuropathy. So we knew this. So fast forward, we find out that she has cancer, right? So I'm a little bit like, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't that worried. I thought that she would beat it, honestly. But I I don't know, I had mixed feelings about it, but I came to accept it. I wasn't sad, but I came to accept it that she had cancer, and I was willing to do things to help her, get better and hopefully overcome it. So it came to me one day to um try to help her eat, try to help her, because this was the time, during the time when I was vegan. I'm no longer vegan anymore, and I made an update about that on the channel. To help her eat, to go vegan, or at least eat mostly vegan meals. And that was a challenge because she's a person that's big on taste and even presentation. So if it doesn't taste a certain way, she's not going to like it. I'm just being real with you guys. So she would try some vegan dishes and treats. She would have some here and there, but she didn't stick to that diet. I was hoping that she would go that route, like go more on a health get more on a health journey, and maybe that's how she would overcome the cancer, but she didn't. And so during the first, like, maybe 4 or 5 months, it seemed as though she was good. She was eating decently. We were trying not to give her unhealthy food for the most part. If she would eat meat, my mom would cook and try to make it like baked, for instance. She really tried to make sure that she was eating decent, eating right. And I wasn't living there. I was living in New Jersey, and she was back home with my mom in Ohio. Yeah. So she left from South Carolina and went to my mom's house in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. All right. So we tried to make sure that she would eat healthier. And she was doing all right at first. But as time progressed, her memory started to decline as well. So she experienced dementia as well. She had dementia, and as time went on, her memory deteriorated, where she was walking outside. My grandmother, growing up, my grandmother, she was more of a dramatic person. So sometimes when she would do things, I thought she was just doing it to get attention, honestly, because she would do things, certain things, to get our attention. If she felt as though she wasn't being heard, she wasn't seen, she's not getting enough attention, because she loved attention. I'm not going to hold you guys. She loved attention, and yeah, she would do certain things to get people's attention. Now, I'm not talking about the health scare. I'm talking about, when she would do certain things, memory wise, like, okay, she lost a train of thought, or she forgot someone's name, or forgot something. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes when I was around her, I thought she was just playing around, not playing around, like trying to get my attention, trying to get our attention. But I'm pretty sure that she wasn't. That's what she really was going through. Maybe here and there during the beginning she could have, but she was really going through it, and I got to see that during the end of her life. So she experienced memory loss. She would go outside by herself sometimes, like walk off mad at someone, like my mom, because my mom ended up being her caretaker. She had to help her get dressed, pick her outfits, bathe her, all of that. She ended up being her caretaker. And sometimes my grandmother, she was a very independent woman. She made a good salary before all of this happened, and she was used to taking care of herself. Now, we would do certain things for her, but she was very independent, and she liked to have things her way. So I guess certain times during that transition, she wasn't getting her way, and she would get upset and leave out the house, take a walk, try to get away from my mom, and then she would lose her memory in the midst of that. And we had to go out and find her. So, if she wasn't answering her phone, or she made a mistake and left her phone in the house, my mom would have to go look for her. This happened just about 2 times, okay? Not often, okay? And she returned safe. Then over time, she really, I started to notice she'd lose would lose more weight. She was doing chemotherapy. She had health services coming to the house. I don't remember how often, honestly, but she had that. But I could see that she was starting to deteriorate, but part of me was still in a little disbelief. I didn't think that she was as bad as she was because, like I mentioned, my grandmother, how she was. So I thought that she would overcome, or at least she would live for a few years, at least a year before she passed away. So I thought that I had more time with my grandmother than I did. And I remember my mom called me up. She would, let me know how she's doing. Like, she's not doing well. The doctor's telling us that she could go any moment. And then I remember my mom called me asking me, when am I going to come to visit? This was during the summer of 2024. When are you going to come to visit? I'm not sure if she's going to make it. She can pass any moment now. And this was going on for weeks. The doctors kept saying the same thing. So I'm like, are they sure? But I decided to still go. Okay, I know, I'm like, that's my grandmother. I don't need to neglect her. Let me make sure I go and visit her in person. And so I went to Ohio and I was able to stay for a few days. And I spent time with her. She would go in and out of thoughts and speaking, so she would still talk but not a lot, and she kind of hold, like, it's like she would go in and out of memory. So she knew certain things about me and she would mention them. um and yeah, I would try to, like, she was downstairs in the living room, I would try to spend time with her, while still spending time with my family as well. Pray. A lot of us prayed. We all prayed, and I did pray with her before I did leave. All right, so I was so happy that I did get to spend that personal time with her, although she didn't remember a lot. I'm happy that I did go down in person to visit and spend that time with her. Shortly after that, she passed away. She went on to be with the Lord, and my mom planned her funeral, and we had it shortly after that. The funeral was in October. Okay, we laid her to rest. You know, and I just came to, I was okay. I was at peace with it. Let me say that. I was at peace with it. I didn't feel super sad, although I didn't want her to leave that soon. I wanted her to have a longer life. I even wanted her to, like, overcome cancer, live, you know, to overcome it, basically. But that didn't happen. But I was at peace. All right. So we laid her to rest in October. Okay, then a few weeks later, I got a phone call. Um, I got a phone call, heard news that one of my older cousins got killed. Okay, so he was living in Texas when this happened. So he is probably 15 years older than me. We never were super close, but I had a good, like, he had a good reputation. Like, I never saw him in a bad way. Like, I saw him in good eyes, you know. And although we weren't close, I appreciated him. And he was from New Jersey, like I am, was living in New Jersey. And I remember before he moved to Texas, he let me know that he's moved to Texas, and he asked me, can he have my contact info to give it to some of his previous clients that he had, some of his clientele he wanted to give, because I'm a professional licensed hairstylist, and he asked, he wanted to refer those clients to me, you know. And I don't remember how many clients it was. I still have most of them to this day. I still have most of those clients that he referred back to me. And yeah, before he moved down to Texas, he referred those clients to me, and this was actually during the time when I opened up my first salon in Elizabeth in 2020 during COVID. and he gave me those clients. So I was very appreciative of that. And I just he was you're right. So obviously you could see that he was already a licensed cosmetologist as well. He did hair, and he would do hair and he would barber. And then later on in life, he was focusing on culinary. So he was focusing on cooking. That's what he enjoyed doing before he passed. He entered a contest. I can't remember the name of the contest, but I remember he was doing that. He was really, I could tell that he was from online, that he was really excited about that. And I was happy for him. So I made sure that I sent in my votes every day when I remembered to, in hopes that he will go far with that, okay? And he had his food truck, his wife and his kids in Texas. His mom lived down there as well. So he seemed to be living a pretty good life. It seemed like he was happy and moving forward in life, like pivoting, it seemed like he was doing. And so to get that news, I was in shock, to hear that. First of all, he's not here, that he passed away. And then not only that he passed away, he got killed. And then not just get killed, he got killed by a family member, okay? I don't think I'm going to go into detail about who it is, because I don't want to stir up strife with family members and close people that might not want this news to get out. But it was a family member that killed him, and I'm just going to leave it at that. This happened in Texas. So to get that news that not only that my cousin passed away before his time, but he was killed, and he wasn't just killed, he was killed by a family member. Like, that was the shocker of a life. Like, that was the shocker. That was one of the most shocking things that I heard about somebody in my own personal, like somebody in my family that I ever heard in my life. I wasn't expecting that at all. I was actually devastated about that. I'm not going to lie. Even though I wasn't that close to him, like, I wasn't calling him up or texting him. I would see him during family functions, and I remember him more so when I was a kid, but it hurt me even more than that news. Let me say, that news hurt me even more than the news that my grandmother passed away, because I was expecting, I knew my grandmother was going to pass away, she was going to pass away. And even though I didn't want it to happen that soon, and also she got to live her life. He was in his 40s, and I know he had more to come. And to hear that he died at that age, and died the way he did, it was just devastating to me. Devastating. So they ended up having a funeral up here. And I did make it. At first, I was going to go to the funeral because I just thought, like, I just had this feeling to not go. But I ended up going with my family. My other family member, I just keep it at that. We went together, and, the burial and the reception was pretty nice, But it was something, let's just say that. But it went well, even in the midst of all of that drama, like what could have been drama. It went well. But it was just, he had young children, a wife. To have to leave his young children, kids that's younger, that didn't even make it to teenage years yet, they don't have a father anymore. I know how that feels, because like I've mentioned this before in my channel. I lost my dad at a young age, so they don't have their father anymore. And then he has 2 sons and a daughter. So a little baby girl not grown up with dad to teach, to learn the things that dad would teach a daughter. And then sons, kids need their dad. Let's just say that. The roles that dad can play for both sons and a daughter. It's very crucial for both sexes to have a dad. So it was just, honestly, it was hurtful for me, shocking and hurtful for me. And then I believe this happened 3 months after, and I believe this was in 2025. I could check. I would have to check different things to make sure I'm having these dates right. I know my grandmother's dates are correct, but a few months later, his mom passes away. It's actually my grandmother's favorite sister. Okay, they were close in age, just a year apart. My grandmother was 1 year older than her, I believe, and she passed away a few months after my cousin passed away, which is her son, and she passed away from cancer as well, as well as my grandmother. Just like my grandmother passed away from cancer, and my aunt, I believe she did have cancer previously, like some years ago, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% sure because I never asked her. She never told me. But if she did have cancer in previous years, it did come back. And I'm not sure what kind of cancer it was and all of that. I didn't get to speak to her. I did speak to her at the, during my cousin's burial reception. And I'm so happy that I did, regardless of circumstances. But we found out, I ended up finding out that she had cancer, and that she may have not had much time left. That it was she may have not had much time left. And then shortly after that, she passed away. And that was a shocker as well, because I didn't even know that she was going through her body, like during the funeral, like during the burial of my cousin. I had no idea. She looked fine to me. She looked like her normal self. And just a year or two ago, we had my grandmother's 75th birthday party. I'm so happy that she was able to celebrate her 75th birthday with the people that she loved the most. Most of all of her close ones were there. My uncle planned most of it. We helped out and helped out at the birthday party as well. So I'm just happy that she got to have a party of a lifetime, because a lot of times she didn't even, like, she wanted to have more. Like, I'm just happy that she got to see us, or see her family, give her flowers while she was still here, and she got to have a great time. I'm happy that she got to experience that, and we got to experience that with her as well. But yeah, my aunt, she passed, which seemed suddenly. It could have really been just suddenly. I'm not sure, because I don't ask, that wasn't revealed to me. All right. Then we had her funeral. All these funerals, by the way, none of them were living in New Jersey, and all the funerals ended up taking place in New Jersey, because that's where they were from. And my grandmother wasn't born in Jersey, but that's where she's from, and that's where we have most family. So everybody, anyone that's not living in New Jersey traveled from where they live to come to New Jersey. And there's my grandmother's funeral first, then my cousins, and then my aunts, and I attended all three. And yeah, it was just a big heartbreaker. It was a lot. I was able to move on, like go on about my life. I wasn't depressed or anything, but it was just a shocker and a heartbreak for all those people to have gone before their time. Well, I would say it's before all of their time. Okay. And they all played a significant part in my life, throughout my life. And once I got back here to New Jersey, my aunt that passed away, she created a group of me and my cousins that's not far from my age. We had a prayer group together. We didn't get to meet very often, but once she first started it, we did have meetings frequently. That over time, she would check in here and there, either by text or email. She would invite me to different things. Sometimes I would go. My grandmother would invite me to the social gatherings, and I would go, and she would be there. Like, all three of us would go together. So I spent time with her, and she was a very positive person, I would say that. And she had lots of wisdom. she reminds me of Oprah Winfrey. The positive side of Oprah Winfrey. She reminded me of her. Even like her accent, her voice even sounds like Oprah Winfrey. Now she didn't look like Oprah, but her voice was like hers, and then just her knowledge and wisdom is very similar to Oprah Winfrey. Right? Oh, sorry, I'm losing my voice. And then my cousin, just him being an entrepreneur, not giving up on life, not giving up on his dreams, you know. I really like that about him, and then how he gave me clientele, when I wasn't expecting it. I was so grateful for that. So all of them, and then me and my grandmother, helping me, like let me have a place to stay, let me have a place to stay in our relationship, strengthening and other things, that I'm not going to go in details about right now. It was just, just reflecting. I can just, yeah, I'm just so grateful that of the times that we did spend together. And I'm happy I also got to tell my cousin about, how I was grateful for what he did. I remember I sent him a text not too long ago. I don't remember when that was. But before he passed away, I was able to tell him, thank you for giving me, referring your clients to me. And, I'm happy that I did that. So I'm happy that I was able to express somewhat my gratitude for them being in my life, like what they have done for me and how they have been in my life. I'm happy about that. And then, whew, some of you might not know, I was still a hairstylist, but I started doing a 9 to 5, and I ended up not resigning, but getting laid off, I guess you could say, in 2024, and right when I still needed that job, but they went out of business basically. And I was still a hairstylist, still doing hair, but I didn't have my own, I didn't have a shop. But I went from being a salon owner to working in a salon setting, another person's salon. That was a trial as well. I don't know. I'm not gonna go into detail about that, but I was in 2 salons before I got here. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna go in detail about that. Don't feel led to, but that was something. Started off good with both, and then things I could see as God was preparing me to leave, that it was just time for me to leave to start my own again, okay? And now I'm here. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath. And my voice, I'm losing my voice a little bit, but now I'm here at my own salon. So I just, this is new. I haven't been here that long, but my salon suite, I am so grateful and thankful. So I had just like, I'm not going to talk about not trying to say anything bad about nobody in this whole video, okay? Some things are just better off not unsaid, okay? But basically I knew that over time, I knew that it wasn't meant for me to be in anyone's salon anymore, and that God was transitioning me out of other people's salon. It was time for me to work for myself, and I was feeling this over time. I wanted this for myself, and I was also feeling it. Then I had got prophesied to that I was going to have a place of my own, that God was going to give me a salon again. It's not going to be really big. And this is crazy because this was what I was thinking too. I was feeling, and what I actually wanted. I didn't necessarily want to get another storefront or a full size salon, because then I would have to worry about who's going to work for me. So I was like, let me try to find something that's like in a salon suite setting. And then I had got that prophecy. I did not tell the woman that prophecy. I don't mean call you a woman if you're watching this video, but I'm not trying to mention anybody's name when it comes to certain things in my videos, okay? But the person that prophesied to me, she you know, I did not tell her that I was thinking about getting, you know, getting a salon suite or, you know, anything like that. So I knew that she was hearing from God when she did say that. She said, I don't see a place, like, it's not really big. I see like more of like a room. I could tell that she was trying to be like cautious in her wording, but you know, I don't get offended easily. I was like, okay, and my mom like, okay, that's what I want. I don't want no big place. So I was happy, and eventually I found this place. I found another place, and I thought that might have been the one. Like, okay, I could rock out here. I could see myself here, but it would have been a hassle anyway, traveling back and forth. And then I had remembered I saw this place, and I decided to give the owner a call, and I did, and I fell in love with it. Everything about it, the location, the layout was nice. I fell in love with everything. It was perfect for me. So I'm just so thankful. I've been through ups and downs through 2024, you know, up until now, honestly. But I am still here. I am so grateful. God has carried me. He surely has carried me through all of my ups and downs. So every hurdle, every hurt, every pain, every obstacle, even in the midst of good, he's been there for me. And I do want to add a clip. I want to add a few clips of some of my last moments I had with my grandmother, you know, while she was still, I don't have any clips where she was really bad, and I don't want to add any of that anyway. I wouldn't want to add any of that anyway, I don't think. But I do have a few clips while she was still well. I want to add some of that. I actually had recorded some when we were in South Carolina in her home, at her home, and I never edited I never edited that footage, and I never released it. So I do want to, I'm either going to add it here, or I'm going to do a separate vlog. I think I might add it here. My family graveyard.
Next time we come out here, I'm gonna bring a cloth or some. He had to be either Ishmael Jr. or Ishmael Fennell II. Who? Man, a grandfather. It had to either been Junior or the second, because that's a Ishmael Fennell III. But anyway, man, they all at the end of the day, they all family. Mm-hmm. Grandfather, grandson, wait, great grandfather, great grandson, and grandfather my nana's grandfather is back. My mother's grandfather is back there somewhere, and her grandmother. Mm. We just don't know like exactly where. So. And his graves all over. His graves all over here. So, even all the way down there. Even all the way. And guess all what? This is family, and guess what? Little E visited every last one of these graves. He was all the way over there somewhere. Asking who is this? He said, who is this? And who is this? And who is this?
Wow.
It's a charger.
A video clip of this.
Do you have the same charger as the iPhone?
Yeah, I have an iPhone. It's okay, girl. Oh my God. Go, Nana!
What you bring your husband?
He want a fishing trip. Yeah. I told him I'm gonna tell him to get before we leave.
We love you,
Let's give God a praise for the
Thank you. So, yeah, you guys, thank you so much for hearing me out. Sometimes I feel, you know, like people want to come and go, like come get information from me and go and don't care, like don't see me as a normal, actual human being, but I am a human being, and we all need one another. We need one another. Okay, that's God did not create us to be. We need community, right? So, as I'm here for you guys are also my community. I see you guys as my community too. Now, I might not tell y'all every little thing about me in my life, but I do consider you guys community. I love you guys. I love when I hear from you guys. I really do read your messages when I do get a chance to read. Yeah, during that time period that I wasn't on, I did not, I wasn't reading comments and things like that. But I appreciate you guys so much, and I can't wait to see what God has in store for this next season in my life, and what God has in store for you guys too. The ones that do like check in, or might say a little something here and there. I want the best for you guys. I will say, while I was MIA, I was praying for you guys that God would instruct you all in your life, and that they would not lean, that you guys would lean on Him and not anyone else, including myself. I was praying for you guys, praying that God will reveal anything that needs to be revealed to you all, including your dreams, that He will reveal, and that you guys will lean on Him. Okay, so I pray that you guys are strengthened on today, that you're encouraged, stay faithful to the Lord, and I will see you in another one. Bye bye.